Students, this is the help video for the take-home practice quiz 2.1 to 2.3. So we started this unit with graphing of lines. So we want to graph this line, negative 3x plus y equals negative 9. You always start with the y-intercept, which is your b. In this case, it's negative 9. And it's the y-intercept, which means you start on the y-axis. Your rise and run is 3/1. That's a positive line going up from left to right. And there is your line. Find the slope passing through these points. Slope is y minus y over x minus x. Y minus y over x minus x. Y minus y, left to right, over x minus x. That is double negative makes a positive. So that's negative 5 plus 5, that's 0 over negative 10. 0 in the numerator is just 0. So that is a horizontal line. Y minus y over x minus x. That's 9 over 0. 0 in the denominator is undefined. It's a vertical line. Says right here that C is between A and D. B is the midpoint of AC. So if you go like this to AC, B is the midpoint. That means these two pieces are equal. B to D is 11. B to C is 6. Our goal is to find A all the way to D. Well, if that's 6, this is also 6. And 6 away from 11 gets you 5. And then you very carefully add it up. 6 plus 11 is 17. Or you can see it as 12 plus 5, which is also 17. Either way. Calculate the distance. The distance equation, distance equals giant square root. Subtract the x's, parentheses squared, subtract the y's, parentheses squared. Left to right. Two minus 8 is negative 6. Double negative makes a positive. That's going to be 7. We have square root of 85. Now, you want to factor. Let's double check. Obviously, 5 goes in there. 5 goes into 8 one time. With 3 left over, it's 17. 5 and 17, both those numbers are prime, so you have no dates. Your final answer here for the exact is distance equals root 85. If x is the midpoint of wy, find the location of w. So this is the middle of something. So if you middle of something going like this, obviously, the question is, where would w be? If it's the middle, this distance has to be the same as that distance. So from 5 to 13, of course, is 8 units. So if I go 8 units this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gets you to 0, 6, 7, 8. That's going to be -3. Supplement. Angle plus angle equals 180. Complement. Angle plus angle equals 90. If one angle measures 54, it's 54 plus unknown angle equals 180. If one angle is 64, it's 64 plus an angle equals 90. And then you solve. Trace and sweep. These problems, especially, I recommend you color code. So ABD is 96. ABD 96. EBD is 32. You are told that BE bisects CBD. That's the yellow, which means these two are equal. So if this is 32, this must also be 32. Your ambition is to find ABC, which is right here. So, as a habit, always find everything possible. That's why I immediately brought the 32 over because of the bisector. I can find that. That's 64. I could do 96 minus 64. And we get this is 32. All right, 2 things you want to watch out for in these kind of problems. 1, you want to watch out for angles that share a spine, make a line. In other words, they are a linear pair, which means they add up to 180. And then you also want to watch out for vertical angles, which means they are congruent. So looking here, we take a look at our variables. Those are the matching variables. So you ask yourself when you sweep them, what's the relationship? And this is vertical angles. So that means we're using an angle equals angle. And we discover x has to be 13. Now to solve, we're going to go 8 times 13. So we just found that the measure of this angle is 104. This angle is also 104. That sweeps 180. So you can see that Z is going to be 180 minus 104. So Z is going to be 76. And then this is also 76. always be in the habit of dressing up the diagram with the given information. So PS and RT are equal. PQ and RS are equal. And we're being asked to prove in these circumstances, how do you know QS and ST are equal? So you can see at some point you're going to have to say the red and the green adds up to the blue. And that's what this is right here. This is PS equals PQ plus QS. And then we have down here, we have RT equals RS plus ST. The reason for both of these is segment addition. Where do we find PS and RT? It is given. Now, if you look carefully, PQ equals QS is right there. RS plus ST is right there. We already say these things are equivalent right there. So we're going to swap out PS and swap in the sum. Swap out RT, swap in the sum. That's called substitution. This is given. Look very carefully. The only difference between here and here, if you look very, very carefully, we can swap out PQ and we can put in RS, which is exactly what we did. Everything else is exactly the same. So that's called substitution. Now that we have the same thing on both sides, RS, RS, you can minus. And then you get what's left over, QS equals ST, and that would be subtraction property.